E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e raurangatira mā. E te kaunihera o Waipa, me te iwi e pai nei, tēnā koutou. Ko pirongia te maunga, ko Waipa te awa, ko tainui te waka, ko Ngati Apakura te iwi, ko ngā marae o Pūrigirigi, me kahote e mihi atu nei, e kōrero atu nei. Tēnā tātou e hui hui mai nei. Ki te wānanga i te kaupapa o te wā mo te taone nei o te awa mutu. Mauri ora. In our slide here, we have our ancestress Apakura. Apakura is the ancestress of Apakura te iwi. Here we have a photo taken from Mutu Street of Memorial Park. And we have listed here the main features that we find in the park. You would have received in your notes some ideas on how these places will be treated with. We have listed here the sacred place, which is the memorial place, memorializing those who gave their lives that we might have a free country. Also included in the park is our basketball courts. When we looked at this area, we asked ourselves these questions. Is there anything in the reserve that acknowledges that the name of Te Awa Mutu arose from the awa in the reserve? Is mana whenua history identified in the reserve? Is there an obvious linking or connection from the sacred area of the memorial area to the sporting venue? Is the pond hygienic? Is the space being fully utilised? So let's see what can be done. We have here an earlier drawing of the Te Awa Mutu wider area in the Te Awa Mutu. The main feature we have here is maunga tautari. The importance of maunga tautari is that's where the maunga piko starts from, within the environment of maunga tautari. So does the maunga ohoi. Now, if we follow the maunga ohoi right down to where it meets up with the maunga piko, the importance of that is that on the maunga piko, there was a pā there, and that pā site was named Kaipaka Pā, where the maunga ohoi ends and where it goes into the maunga piko. Now that's where Te Awa Mutu got its name from, the end of the navigable river. Also in this picture, we also have cultivations acknowledged. When we looked at the cultivations, it tells us that there is value in the soil, that there's nurture in the soil. And then we have other plantations in the area, and we have recognised also in this map is Rangiolwhia, where Apakura once was. If we are to look at customary practices and values, we begin from the creation period with Papatuanuku and Ranginui. Papatuanuku is our elemental earth mother, and Ranginui is our elemental earth father. And so we have our elemental origin parents. And when we look at, and their whānau, and from these stories, from the creation stories, we take two principles. We take regeneration and the principle of struggle within the whānau. Pictured here is one of the most important of their sons, and that is Tāne Mahuta, and his role that he had in bringing about the birth of humans into what we now call Earth. Here we have the trilogy of three powerful women. I just talked about Papatuanuku, powerful. Her elemental powers regenerated the elements that we now have in the soil. Then we have Hine Te Iwa. Now her power is the power of the spiritual guardian of childbirth, the cycles of the moon, and also the power of she possessed with weaving. Then we also have Hine Ahuone. The power that Hine Ahuone possessed is she was the first human to breathe upon this earth. So if we look at the powers, we have already talked about Papatuanuku and her elemental powers, and we then take from that the Pārongoa. Pārongoa is another way of saying a grove of medicinal herbs. As I had mentioned, the pā that was in that area of the Mangapiko is called Kaipaka pā. So here we have pictured a herbal plant that begins with the letter K, and it's called kānuka. And then other medicinal plants that begin with the letter K is kawakawa, kōwhai, koromiko, and kumaraho. You may have heard of some of them because at the time of the World War II, Māori were sending over herbal plants for their soldiers. Then we have a proposal for a pāharakeke. Now, the beauty of the pāharakeke is that if you have a look at this picture here, it pictures the child in the middle. That's how we look at the plant. The child's in the middle, either side. You see, we look at the plant and we say those are the parent leaves that protects the child in the middle, and then we extend a little bit further out and we talk about the grandparents, and then we go further out to the uncles and the aunties, and all of those outer leaves are protective leaves, and they all contribute to the well-being of the child or the rito that is in the centre. And so our values actually come from just looking at this pāharakeke, the values of nurturing our children and looking after our children, and the value of having grandparents inputting into the development of the child. And so we need values. Look, as we look to improve and to bring about some changes and some transformation in the Memorial Park. Now here on this slide, we have a diagram of the whāraki. Now the thing about a whāraki, and especially this pattern, it's called the kaukau pattern, which refers to the armpit. Now, when a child is born, they would be born on a whāraki like this. Why? Because the young couple, they will cuddle the child in their arms and show nurture and love and strength to support that child through life. And then this is an all of life pattern, the ko pattern, because as we come to the time when we are old and we pass on, this is the pattern of the whāraki that would sit beneath the coffin. And so this pattern actually links, it's a linking between an whole of life purpose and a linking between the women that are celebrated in the memorial park, the women's culture and their values, and also the reverence, that we have for our loved ones that we memorialise, who gave their lives so that our country would be free. So the opportunity here is to transform the space into one of our best reserves, creating the possibility of helping our community to grow together, working, helping, guiding and educating each other, taking our values from the trilogy of women. Can you picture this park actually focused on women and the values that they have? How unique that is for us to have this opportunity to celebrate a woman's space, a woman's place. Educational benefits are some of the outcomes, with descriptive panels identifying harakeke types and their medicinal values, weaving skills even, medicinal knowledge, tried and tested health benefits, informational wānanga or herbal self-subsistence gardens, and a shared understanding, valuing our cultural identity and the importance of the retention of Indigenous knowledge, and especially the Indigenous knowledge which was from Kaipaka Pa and in the land which is contiguous to Kaipaka. Recreational, appreciation of known plants, and especially native plants to our area, and enjoyment of the aquatic facility. And so we join with you in working together, just like a family, just like a wider community, as is pictured in the harakeke. We're thankful for this opportunity to share these important values and customary practices. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.